5B Workbook Geometrical Construction, page 145, practice 2, question 12. We're going to practice on drawing trapezium, and this time the trapezium is that we're given 3 sides and an angle. So let's take a look. Draw a trapezium CDEF in which CF is parallel to DE. DE is equal to 7.5 centimeters. CF equals to 6 centimeters. CD equals to 4 centimeters. And angle CDE equals to 80 degrees. Remember that a trapezium is a 4-sided figure. So in this case, there are 4 points given for the figure, which is point C, D, E, F. So always begin with a sketch of the diagram that you're going to draw. So in this case, the workbook has given to us a sketch, so which you do not need your ruler to draw a precise figure. So a CD, so we begin with line CD, and which is 4 centimeters. And given that angle CDE is 80 degrees, which is less than 90 degrees, so it will be slightly smaller than 90 degrees. And then we continue with DE. It's actually a 7.5 centimeters, which is slightly longer than CD. And we know that CF is actually 6 centimeters. And you can join line FE together to complete the trapezium CDEF. So with this so what else do we know? So we know that CF is actually parallel to DE. So we mean there's a pair of parallel lines. So what do we know about angles between a pair of parallel lines? Yes, the sum of angles between a pair of parallel lines add up to be 180 degrees, which means that FCD and CDE is equals to 180 degrees. So this is 80, so this will also, so what will this angle be? So let's find out. So we'll take 180 degree minus 80 degrees, which will give us 100 degrees. So angle DCF is equals to 100 degrees. So that's one additional information that we know that that help us later. So is there anything else that we know? So we do not know any angles between these two, so we are not able to find any. How about angle CDE and FED? Will this be 100 degree? No, because this pair of line is not parallel. Yeah, so they will actually meet at the point further up if you extend the line. So we cannot have this as 100 degree. And this is not a parallelogram, so diagonally opposite are not equal. So now we may begin our construction. So where shall we start? Let's follow the sketch. So we begin with the baseline DE. So I'll get my ruler and my ruler is a millimeter ruler, which means that 10 millimeter is actually a 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, and so on. So I'll position my ruler to begin at the bottom center of the page so that I have enough space to draw, and do not just put it too much to the left or right or in the middle. So you might not have enough space to draw. So we'll begin with the 0 marking to draw DE line, which is 7.5 centimeters. So beginning from 0 till 7.5 centimeters. So with this is line DE. I'm going to label it line D, point D to point E. And it is 7.5 centimeters. Next, we're going to, what is related to point D or E? So we actually see that we have an angle CDE. So it's actually relating at point center D. CDE is going to be 80 degrees. So I need my protractor to place it at point D. So make sure that your protractor is in line with your line DE, and the center point of the protractor is at point D. And that, remember, your zero scales reading must be touching the line DE. So in this case, it's 180, so it's not. So I need to look for the scales that begin with 0. Yes, so this will be, and I'm looking for 80 degrees. So beginning from 0, let's count on 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 degrees. So that's where I must make a mark using my pencil at this point. That will give me linking on to get an angle CDE as 80 degrees. So using a ruler, and do we know the length of CD? Yes, it's given that CD is going to be 4 centimeters. So I'll make sure that we place our ruler such that it meets at point D. And the protractor point that I've marked. And it's going to be at starting at point at 0 centimeters to get a 4 centimeters length from D. 4 centimeters. So for that, let me double check with my protractor that this is still 80 degree. Yes, we are right. Okay, good. So I'll mark the point. This is actually going to be point for C. And this is actually 80 degrees. And line CD is actually 4 centimeters. Next, what else do we know? We know CF coming from point C is 6 centimeters. But which angle should I draw my line CF? So we've actually found out DCF is actually 100 degrees because remember CF is parallel to DE. So these two angles add up to be 180 degrees. So I need to place my protractor with my protractor long line in line with my CD line. And that my points of the center point of my protractor must be at point C. And make sure that I must be starting from a 0 scale. So it's 0 scale, and we'll count on to 100 degrees. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So DCF is going to be 100 degree. So I use my pencil, I put a mark above at point 100 degree so that I will then use my ruler to join the two lines together. Alright, so from point C, making sure that it touches the protractor point, I align it. Okay, and I need to have, how long will be my line CF? Yes, line CF is 6 centimeters. So therefore, I make sure that my 0 point of the ruler is actually touching exactly at point C. So I will draw 6 centimeters. Alright, so we have line CF. It's okay that you can erase this point away later. So this is point F. And so line CF is actually 6 centimeters. So label our diagram. And this is actually 100 degrees. Because CF is parallel to DE. So I can mark an arrowhead to represent that they are parallel. And to check that I'm correct, I'll place my protractor over again at DCF to check the degree. So it's 0 to 100 degrees. So I'm still accurate. Finally, how do I complete my diagram? I need to join point F to point E to get my lines FE. So placing a ruler over, making sure that point E and F touches as you place it over your ruler. Okay, so then I can join from point F to point E, which is actually, if I'm using my ruler, it is 4 centimeters long, which is so happen to be the same length as CD, but they may not be always be the same length. So I have completed my diagram, trapezium C, D, E, F. So now it's your turn, so do your best.